welcome back to Reading Homestuck. I'm here with June and Arthur.
Hello.
Hello.
And before we start today's episode, I I to show to you guys. A little collaboration between myself and Rhea Homestuck. Witness.
Oh boy.
Video.
Video? Oh, video.
Video.
No!
I really wish that's what the skull of what's his name actually looked like. So much more interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's the Lord English skull. Caliborn is too shit to be that yet.
Fucking hit me with skeleton
Yeah,
music.
the fucking
Fuck's
skeleton
sake.
appears. Yeah. Yeah, the pixel art and the text was done by Rhea Homestuck. I did the animation.
Looks really good.
A good meld. And then the fire I stole off of some random, like... One of those channels on YouTube that's just like, here, fire, GIF, no background.
Royalty-free fire.
Royalty-free fire video. And, yeah.
Royalty-free fire video.
Royalty-free
My
flames.
favourite.
.mp4. A classic.
Fuck royalty. All my homies hate royalty.
In all contexts. Anyway. Stuck.
Stuck.
Homestuck.
Indeed. Okay, so I'll take John, June, you take Vriska, Arthur, you're Mina, and Tavros. Oh no, June, obviously June's Mina. What am I talking about?
I couldn't be any meaner.
You're Tavros though, Arthur.
No, I'm Mina.
Yeah. Have fun.
I'm Mina.
We're all a little tired, it seems, today.
That's fun. Yeah,
It do be that
I've
No, I'm awake.
been a bit ill
just...
recently. I had to miss work yesterday because I was so ill. But now I seem better, so I'll be at work today, hopefully. Well, I will be at work today. I'm definitely
I'm just chilling.
And what about all those ships up ahead? Are they part of the treasure hunt too?
Oh, Jesus.
Here we go.
Of course. That's my grand fleet, John. Have you heard of One Piece?
No, could you explain the entire plot to me?
Okay, so you see, there's this guy called Luffy.
27 hours of explaining later.
No, I can explain the whole story of the One Piece to you really quickly. Small child named Luffy wants the One Piece. He makes a lot of friends and fights capitalism along the way. He's a pirate.
And he's a
Okay.
pirate, yes.
Okay, I mean like our army, but like our boats. You get me, John? You get me. You get me.
Isn't an army on boats usually called a navy?
John, help me out. I seem to be having trouble remembering which one of us is the captain. Was it the dark and blue pajamas, or is it the veteran sailor with the rad captain's coat? That's right, the captain was me, and I say it's an army that happens to be on a bunch of boats.
Oh damn, he got smoked. Wow, so smoked. Mina, did you catch those sick fires?
No, but for real, it pretty much is a navy. Just saying.
Who's in the army?
Thousands of ghosts, primarily those of old friends and acquaintances.
Damn, can't believe you're performing conscription.
Who said the conscript? Sometimes people just join the army. I'm a very good
Well, I mean,
recruiter.
considering they're all clearly mind controlled, that's pretty much conscription.
No, it's just extreme negotiation.
Extreme negotiation.
Tell me, John, have you ever heard of the draft?
That's literally conscription.
Oh yeah,
That's what conscription
my father
is.
dodged that.
That's what conscription is. Also, my father dodged that because he's based as fuck.
Oh.
We've amassed a coalition of eager volunteers ready to lay down their ghost lives for a worthy cause.
You mean fighting Lord English?
When we're ready for that, yes, but we need to find the treasure first. So for now, they're sailing well ahead of us in large numbers to attract his attention, so he can do more damage to the ring and fill out the rest of our maps. We should be very grateful for their bravery. They're making a noble sacrifice for us all.
Bravery? You're right. I'm mostly sure she's mind controlling them.
God damn it, Tavros. We really don't need your play-by-play commentary on everything. What are you, a Let's Player?
Oh yeah, I am. My name is PewDiePie. Barrels. What? What?
No, sorry, hang on. The way the fucking Benels.
Yeah. What? Barrels?
What? Badass.
Stefano.
What?
Stefano?
Stefan.
What? Barrels? What?
How's it going, everyone? My name is PewDiePie.
Oh, yeah.
And welcome back to Amnesia.
Anyway, yeah, carry on.
Anyway, wait, you're mind controlling all those ghosts to subscribe to Tavros' Let's Play
No,
channel?
Oh yeah.
No, well, not all of them. Once you group enough together, others tend to latch on to the mob out of curiosity. We trolls have a way of clustering together naturally. You've got to understand, John, most of these people are pretty self-absorbed. They just needed a bit of persuasion to join the cause. Word!
Yeah, but isn't that still kind of, dickish?
No.
But all these stubborn jackasses are going to double die anyway if we don't work together and kill this guy. This is war, John. In times of war, difficult decisions have to be made with the lives of many. The ends justify the means. Just think of me as a general giving orders to my troops. It just happens that these orders are a little more direct in this case. Hey, Circuit Deuce. Let's not lose track of who's actually in charge of this shit, okay? Yeah, all hail her imperious teen condescension, the fresh new face of tyranny, Supreme Admiral Pisces. At this time, I would like to motion for a 15-minute bowing break. So bowing break so we may demonstrate our reverence for this bold, spunky leader. Yeah! Tavros, stop bowing. That was a joke. No, keep doing it. Lower, Swabby. Lower. Face on the fucking deck. Yeah. Just like that. Perfect.
Mina, please stop giving the teenager orders as to how to bow to you. And to go lower. Mina. Anyway, how do you mind control so many ghosts? I was kind of waiting for one of you to, like, piggyback anything off of that, but I guess not. Anyway, how do you mind control?
I needed to recover, okay?
How do you mind control so many ghosts at once? isn't that kind of hard?
Well, I do have a little help. John, did I mention my ancestor? She's the best.
She is?
I must admit, I was not in favor of the idea at first, but Vriska made a very strong case for using our combined powers in this way. In a perfect reality, no one would have to get hurt, but the stakes are too high to be shying away from such measures. See what I mean? The best. It's been wonderful spending so much time on this adventure with my descendant. Not just because it helped me get to know her better, but because it opened my eyes to things about myself I was never really in touch with. There are certain capabilities within me I have never quite been able to face, and she's helped me realize I've been hiding from them all my life, and well beyond. It must be true what they used to say on my world, that if you want to know who you are, look to the legacy left behind by your ancestor. I think that wisdom works in both directions. Well put, Muckies. I've always felt the exact same way.
Well put.
Puke!
Well put, that.
Oh my
Well
god,
put,
the Sect twins are being...
sidekick. That felt
well
very...
well put, person who I only see as my D&D character.
yeah. So, we'll put sidekick.
Well put, Shadow from... Well put, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Puke! Oh my god, the Sect twins are being adorabubbling again. Nitrum, come get your mop ready for some swabbing up all this vomit coming out of my mouth.
Oh no, please. I don't want to do that.
Can you just stick a fork in the sentimental carp? Maybe pretend you ain't hit it off so good. You ever stop and think how this makes me feel? There's no reason to be jealous, Mina. You know nothing has changed about our friendship. Jealous? Bitch, no. It just makes me think about my kid descendant and how instead of having this cool frenzy relationship with her, I just got this uncomfortable urge to stab her to death because she don't threaten my supremacy. Which is a shame because she's so cute. God damn, my royal blood in this cray junk, it makes me have to do. Ah well. Maybe someday, I'll find an heiress who my genes don't instinctively make me want to murder on sight. Then I can teach her the badass ways of being a boss and shit.
God, trolls are so weird. Fucking snitch!
Oh, Johnson. Hey, chat. John just said trolls are weird. He said it quietly, but I heard him.
Miss, give him detention!
Oh, chat, what do you think we should do? I think we should ban that guy. Mods, ban that guy in chat. Mods, time him out.
Chat.
Time him out for 10,000 seconds.
Chat.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you snitch.
Yeah, but aren't we?
Arthur, are you?
He's dead. Gone, reduced to ashes.
There we go.
Oh, he's back.
I was trying to work out what to say.
Moral of the story is Blue Kid is a dumb nerd. But he's right when he says stuff. Wow, this is really compelling writing.
Wow.
He's dumb, but he's right when he says stuff.
Thanks, hussy.
Look at that! Look at that! It's like me and him are becoming fast friends, thus lulling him into a sense of false confidence already.
What?
Soon, my little whale. Soon.
Mina, stop call. Do not
strikes again.
Mina, I would advise you not to call children that. Or anyone, frankly, but especially not children.
My grooming beam charges.
Fuck's sake, please stop please uncharge it, like, now.
I can't wait till Mina meets her older self, and her older self immediately tries and grooms her younger self.
Well, well, yeah, you can still groom an adult. If you...
I think the age difference is big enough, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Arania.
Sorry, I was grabbing a drink. Yeah. It's true. To a human, the ways of trolls, from both Alternia and Bepharus, will seem very strange. In fact, prior to uniting in the afterlife, even the two groups of trolls were reasonably alien to one another. I've had a great deal of time to study the cultures of many species throughout Paradox Space. No matter which race you belong to, one can always find another whose ideals pose a challenge of comprehension to even the most open-minded. And though the ethical standards of those from Alternia may seem unpalatable to you, rest assured that there are beings elsewhere in the cosmos whose violent behavior would be considered extreme even to most trolls. Actually, John, I'm very glad you brought this up, because I was in the middle of a wonderful story on this very subject which you interrupted when you boarded our ship.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine. Really, I'm quite pleased that you did. This way I get to start over from the beginning.
Great.
There's Aradia in the background.
Aradia in the background just like... uh-oh. she got a look on her face like it's almost fear, like, oh no, not another one. Like, the eyelashes look like a fucking eyebrows. And then the Solix just, like, resigned.
There were some rough patches. Yeah.
I mean, when isn't he,
bro can't even see.
When isn't he resigned to his fate? That's just, like, his default state.
There were some rough patches. Yeah, true. There were some rough patches in my original telling which I can go back and fix. This time it'll be much better.
Okay. Okay. What's the story about?
It is a tale about a very mysterious alien race called cherubs. Let us begin. Once upon a time... I can hear your pain from here.
Hold on a minute.
There was a very mysterious alien race called cherubs.
There's a difference between world building and exposition dumping.
Yeah.
This is exposition dumping. Exposition dumping.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
the word.
Sometimes, Hussy, you can in fact interpret a thing that people say in not the objective worst possible version of what they have asked for. Sometimes.
Literally.
Sometimes, Andrew Hussey, you can do things in a way that does not assume that people are being stupid on purpose and assholes on purpose to fuck with you, and hence you should do the worst possible version and shit in your own story. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Anyway.
Arania, I thought you said you'd fix the shitty parts of the story. You started with that crappy line the first time, too. The opening line is fine. It's I guess. Not. Oh, shut up. Let me tell my story. Now, where was I?
There was a very mysterious alien race called cherubs.
Right. There was a very mysterious alien race called cherubs. But there was one cherub who, in particular, who, for at least the first half of our story, will be our heroine.
Okay, right. So not only is this
Black Tar.
not only is this an exposition dump, this is an exposition dump which starts with an entire page talking about one singular line.
Yep.
Great. This bodes
Indeed.
so well.
She had spent aeons roaming her galaxy completely alone. But the time had come for her to find a mate. This is no small task for a cherub. Being an asocial species, they've spent virtually no time in each other's presence at all. Aside from when it is time to mate, they may go their entire lives without encountering another, and so they scatter their numbers throughout space, each stalking a territory spanning many light years. But like a predator is able to track the scent of its prey, a cherub can sense the presence of another nearby. This sense is especially strong if that cherub shares the same qualities its other half once had long ago, before it experienced the
Maturation
process known as predomination. You see, when a young cherub hatches, it would appear that only one creature has begun its life, but the appearance is not to be trusted. The young cherub actually consists of two completely distinct beings, a male and a female, each sharing one body. The two halves are endowed with polar opposite predispositions as well, one predisposed towards malevolence, another towards benevolence. Good and evil, if you prefer to deal in simplistic terms, or at least those of which are convenient for the sake of the story. I prefer to view the dichotomy as the kind of moral story alignment, and like an attribute that dictates the choices a character makes in certain types of games I used to play. The male and female halves can be aligned either way, as long as they differ from each other. The resulting conflict between the two personalities is central to life as a cherub, both before and after predomination. Shortly after hatching, the two halves begin vacillating, taking turns controlling the body. The only physical difference between the two is the coloration of their cheek swirls, which indicates alignment. Otherwise, there is no way to tell male from female apart before a cherub predominates. The vacillation process is demarcated by sleep. When the male goes to sleep, the female wakes up. And when the male goes to sleep, the female wakes up.
You said the same thing.
And when the male wakes up... Oh.
So, is this like an exposition
when the male
dump?
wakes up, the female sleeps?
Is this like explaining everything we'd already worked out?
This is explaining everything that we've already been explicitly shown as well.
Yeah. That's a shame.
My ass is getting a bit dyslexic. Dyslexia is taking over. I'm putting on the glasses so I can read it better. And so it goes back and forth like this as the two identities vie for dominance over the other, and ultimately permanent control of the body. They grow to detest one another and develop a view of social interaction centered entirely around animosity and confrontation. For good cherubs, this readies them for a long life of isolation, as they will prefer to avoid the sort of conflict that comes with social interaction as they have been conditioned to understand it. But for evil ones, the contentious upbringing only serves to fuel their inclination to harm others. And though this duality makes for a tormented childhood, the inner conflict it creates is an extremely important part of a young cherub's life. The defining part, actually. This is the struggle of a cherub. This is the struggle a cherub must overcome to mature. This process culminates in predomination. The other half, one half will have to have a stronger will than the other. The less dominant half will then weaken over time, and it will eventually become clear to both that one will not survive. The dominant personality will then completely consume the other, integrating it in such a way that only one is left. The cheeks will become solidly colored, and the cherub will grow to maturity as a single being, endowed with the alignment of the dominant half, and with all his or her personal qualities at the forefront of the union. In the case of our heroine, she was the good half, and the day her predomination was in the sense the day her brother died. And though it was to her benefit and personal growth, because of this loss, she would always live with a sense that something was missing. Even sexually mature cherubs live with this feeling.
Yeah.
It drives them.
It's fine.
Anyway.
If you need a hand, I'm happy to take over reading.
No. Okay, no.
No.
Actually,
no,
June, unironically,
no.
I need something to make this in any way interesting, in any way, shape, or form. Arthur, executive
Fine.
decision. Arthur, you're taking over.
Oh, alright. Hello, it's me. Where the fuck was I?
Yeah.
I fucking actually despise this voice.
Every sexually mature cherub lives with this feeling. It drives them to seek out another cherub similar to the half they lost, the part of their being which they grew up in perpetual conflict with. The desire to travel the universe in hopes of reigniting that conflict is very important to their species. It's the force which compels them to procreate. Wow. So she set out to track his scent, as it were, and soon she found a physical trail as well, a path of carnage left behind by a particularly destructive male cherub. She followed the debris from civilized worlds and star systems he left behind as if to mock her, and made it clear he knew of her pursuit and was all but paving her way with the dead. His brutality made her more furious, thus setting up the mood, so to speak, for their imminent courtship. Wow!
Huh. Okay.
Those designs are quite fun. I like the outfits.
Yeah. Neat.
A cherub of his alignment is seemingly motivated by little other than to conquer and destroy. From a bioexistential perspective, they behave somewhat like viruses attacking the system from within. But, as all symbiotic organisms living within a universe, there are balancing forces. With those inhabiting an evil cherub's territory will regard it as an unpredictable tyrant, and those in the territory of a good cherub will likely come to view it as a protector, waiting quietly for millennia in deep space ready to attack any encroaching threat. In that sense, they are not unlike cells in a universal immune system. What the fuck do you mean?
So who the fuck are they?
Well, it doesn't matter, they're fucking
Oh,
dead.
never mind.
Doesn't matter, they died.
Someone in the comments explain who the fuck they were, because I don't know.
Just random trolls.
Not that it matters, but like...
I presume they were just trolls from Alternia.
Yeah, it's just like random.
They looked cool though.
Probably.
Anyway,
Designs,
that cells thing, I'm not sure the metaphor is especially prudent. I think it's a bit heavy-handed and a bit forced.
It's almost like Andrew Hussey is like bad at metaphors. Like
And writing in
provably
general.
bad at yeah. It's like provably bad at that.
Anyway. This balance of forces allows stability, such that life and new civilizations can blossom and thrive within a universe, thus assuring the possibility of its own elaborate procreation process.
Me too, man. Me too.
Oh, but if that balance was ever disturbed, it would lead to chaos in that biosystem. The universe could not survive for long, and if by some means a cherub with such destructive tendencies were to achieve unprecedented power, the resulting imbalance would be catastrophic for Paradox Space itself. And through the heroine of our story, having...
Yeah.
Oh wait, and through the heroine...
So,
And
No.
though the heroine of our story could have no way of knowing, this is exactly what would result from her pursuing her chimesis, or whatever that says. Wowie, there's more! I do love talking.
Why
Like
is there
humans,
so much?
cherubs perceive romance in only one quadrant. Unlike humans, their relationships are exclusively black. Their mating ritual is much more violent than any practice trolls would or even physically could engage in, and though it is critical to the perpetuation of their race, the confrontations can sometimes be lethal to one or both of the cherubs. Regardless of the outcome, the stakes are always high. The winner of the duel will assume control of the other's territory, while the loser will sink away to bear the offspring. So, as she toured the planetary wreckage, she knew her quest for a mate was not just about the propagation of her species, but also about the liberation of billions from a monster. Wow, and I thought my dating life sucked. She pursued him for many sweeps with mounting obsession, until one day the trail came to an end at a black hole. Cherubs typically seek out black holes as the setting for their mating ritual, because of course they do. But not any black hole. Once ago it was a star, much like all black holes once were.
That's
how they
how
work.
black holes work!
That's how they go. And circling that star was a planet, and that planet was home to one of the presently sparring cherubs. The male in this case returned to the site of his hatching to mate, a location now conspicuously occupied by a truly massive black hole. Are they saying that Earth's star, aka the sun, became a black hole? Because, actually, that wouldn't happen. It's not going to supernova and then become one of those really big ones. It wouldn't
It's just
even
going
become a
to red
neutron. It's
giant
just gonna
and then just fall in on itself a bit.
It's just gonna fizzle until it becomes a white dwarf, and then it's gonna melt a bit. And then it's gonna become a black dwarf, and then it's gonna die.
Yeah.
Ooh, yippee! Much like this story.
Yippee! The inevitability of fate!
Oh, I can't wait till I find out about
The heat death of the universe!
August 36th, 2043.
No, just read the line. Just read the line. We're not referencing fucking AI SpongeBob. Read the line.
I don't know the reference, and also I said 36 instead of 26. My bad.
Yeah, the
August 36th.
The heat death of the universe is going to happen when August spontaneously gains several more days.
I can't wait for them to tack that extra week on the end of August.
Just read the fucking line.
I said
August DLC.
this was where she found him, and this was where they would duel. Oh, one might think they'd have a bit of dinner first, but they didn't. That they just fucked. While an adult cherub is a fearsome creature and would be a formidable opponent to anyone in its unaltered state, this is not the form in which they do battle with each other. The ritual is more extreme and physically demanding than any other kind of courtship or duel in the universe. Because of course it is. The moment they meet, they will both undergo a dramatic metamorphosis and transform into giant robots. Nope, they'll transform into very long snakes. Wow.
They're giving
The
me a
mates will then
seizure.
duel as two vast, frightening serpents, each an astronomical unit in length. Wow, cool.
Wow, they both just so happen to be the exact distance between the sun and the earth today. Wow.
Nice.
It totally makes sense that this is like a universal unit of measure. The distance between one particular star and one particular planet around that star.
Oh,
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn,
No,
that's
that's-
insane.
the tangled
That's so
struggle
crazy.
between the green ores is exceedingly brutal and can last for sweeps, which is, by the way, a few years.
So
While
it's
dueling,
2 years and a bit.
exactly. While dueling in such a monstrous form, their energy is inexhaustible. Sorry, I was thinking about my love life. Anyway, the transformation taps into the cherub's latent connection with the enigmatic forces presiding over all that is eternal, and permeating all those endowed with immortality. Well, what's that? Are they gonna...
Okay.
What? That's never been mentioned before. That would be
This is-
interesting to know about.
This is just literally just like words at this point.
Technobabble. Warp, and then the warp gale of the Gwimulon engines blazed with unprecedented flame, seething through the universal currents of mana and cosmosis. See, I can do it too!
Cosmosis. It's osmosis, but only for space.
Yeah, it's the movement of space between two...
Space.
From one point to another.
It's the movement between two spaces.
It's the movement of space from a high density to a low density through a partially permeable membrane.
of the universe.
Wow.
Hooray!
Cool. That's wild.
Me too, Jim, honestly, at this point.
I mean, you could be like... Actually, the word cosmosis could be amusing if you were describing one universe leaking into another.
Yeah, that could be amusing and also vaguely interesting.
Anyway,
Anyway,
normally,
not
this
speaking
power
of
is
vaguely
only accessible to them during mating. In this form, they are only able to be injured by one another, and are otherwise indestructible. Hence, the ritual can never be stopped by an outside force until it is complete. Because of course, that makes sense.
Cool.
It doesn't matter that you've made them the most powerful things in the universe. Also, they can't be interrupted because they're super powerful. Are they eating each other's tails?
They're even more powerful.
It's Orob and Ross. Anyway, it should come as no surprise that in this story, our heroine was victorious. Upon defeating her mate, she initiated the interlocking formation to complete the coupling while assuming the dominant position. So she topped his twink ass. Get fucked.
Literally!
You disgusting little space bottom. A stance undetectable to all but the most astute observers of the zoologically dubious. Consequently, the male was fertilized with the young, like a seahorse or fish. See? That's the nature. Well, no, actually, that's not true. Actually, they're a freshwater fish. I didn't think about that. So actually, that was a perfectly perfectly Daneable phrase, but not true still. Anyway, back to my love life. He then slithered away in disgrace from the territory he just lost, much like me after every date. A cherub looking to the nest will search for a dead planet situated near a massive dying star. The egg is then deposited on the planet's surface, and the rising temperature from the expanding red giant will incubate the egg until it is ready to hatch. Ah, cool. Later in life, the cherub will grow wings. Sorry, I've just got to burp quickly. Yum!
I'll cut that out.
The cherub will grow
I'll
wings.
cut that out, but also, why the fuck do you follow that shit up with yum? What the fuck, man?
Assuming it has matured properly.
I'm fucking...
Honestly,
Done.
at this point, all I'm saying is, Jesus Christ, at least I'm engaged in one way or another. It's not a good way. It's very much a Jesus, but at least I'm not, like, asleep in my chair.
What the fuck? I'm nearly asleep, I'm gonna be honest.
Fair.
Assuming it has matured properly, and if it has learned to fly well enough to reach a safe distance from the nest before the star goes supernova, soon the hungry cherub will return and feast upon the resulting stellar energy. Doing so allows it to gain enough strength to travel great distances and claim its own territory. The star will then collapse into a black hole, serving as a distinct gravitational beacon to the cherub later in life so that it may return there to mate. Wowie!
Again, the sun is not going to be a black hole, but whatever.
Wait, no, because this might. I think actually this might not be about Mr. England and the other one. It might be about and get this, their parents. Maybe, so it might not be about Earth, it might be about somewhere else, but the astronomic unit thing is still stupid. Anyway, as it happens, our heroine's mates discovered Earth.
Never mind!
I was right, yes, yes, see? Oh, it's about their parents. Our heroine's mate discovered. Wait, no, that's
No,
stupid.
because the sun's not gonna go supernova. It's not gonna be a black hole.
That's going to happen. Well, it is in this universe. Spurb changed the rules.
Spurb spontaneously gave the sun multiple times more mass. Spurb made the sun fat.
Pyrocynical.
Oh, we were this close to having our first on-show spit take. We were this close.
As it happens, our heroine's mates discovered Earth.
I can't even
After the journey
understand
to a
you
new
anymore.
sun, and long since new civilizations had risen and fallen, and now on the brink of destruction from its dominating star, its barren accommodations were ideal for a young cherub. There he deposited his single egg and flew away, never to return. No cherub ever spawns more than one offspring at a time, for it is every cherub's destiny to grow up alone, or alone on the outside at least.
So wait,
Hooray!
if it takes two to make...
Yes, they're slowly diminishing unless they go back and fuck each other again.
And again,
They have to
and
fuck
again,
each other again.
and again, and again.
That's it, bitch, I'm back for round 2.
Gets topped again.
No!
Right, I'm back for round
for
3,
this.
bitch! Ah,
I
fuck!
stu-
And he gets
While
topped
you
again.
spent... while you wasted your life studying topping, I studied the blade. Oh, shit!
Oh shit! You also studied the blade while studying topping. Shit!
Oh, fuck.
You
Oh,
multitask!
Masochistic cherubs that just
Stop
keep going back for round
topping
2,
me.
3, 4, and 5, knowing they're gonna get topped.
Anyway, from the egg that hatched, one special cherub with 2 names, one that few will ever know, and one that few should ever say. A fascinating thing about cherub reproduction is how the parent's alignment is passed on to the young. If a male lays the egg, the alignments of the child's 2 halves will be the same as the parents'. If a female lays the egg, the alignments will be flipped. And the young male and female halves will be endowed with opposite alignments of the parents. That is what that means. Thank you for explaining that. Jesus
Yes,
Christ,
thank you
he's
for
a terrible
explaining that
writer.
twice.
As such, the male half took after his father. Perhaps the son exceeded him in violent tendencies. It's hard to imagine there has ever been a cherub more willfully destructive and as stubbornly dedicated to conquest than the monstrosity that he will grow up to become. Due to his indomitable nature, I believe victory over his sister was a foregone conclusion. Barring a highly improbable glitch in causality, it would be almost impossible for her to predominate over someone like him. And even so, he didn't have the patience to wait. Unfortunately for everyone to ever exist... That's an alright line. Unfortunately for everyone to ever exist, he discovered a way to predominate early. Yet it was not this act alone which would prove ominous, so much as the means through which it was achieved. He was allowed to become a solo player of a game of which his kind was never meant to play. And so it is with this predomination of her son that our heroine's story ends and the story of our villain begins. And in all of that time, that means the space cherub weird monster people have been laid more than I have. And I'm sad about that! Wah! And that's
Also-
the moral of the story.
Also, Feathery and the Pet are here. Cool.
Yippee!
Huh.
Hey Mina, where are you going?
I'm taking a gaper break. God!
But the
Okay,
story
Arthur-
isn't over yet.
Okay, if the story continues, Arthur keeps going. If the story doesn't continue, we switch it back to June.
No, but I love doing this voice.
Well, you can do it some other time.
Oh,
Because
what a shame.
Girl, your stories never end. My bladder can't even deal. Just keep talking while I'm gone.
Oh, no, that's okay. We can wait. I wouldn't want you to miss anything.
I've already heard that damn story, though.
Oh, well, not all of it.
Clever fuck, can't you just keep yapping about snake sex while I hit the little grub room already?
I wouldn't want you to miss any of the really important story about snake
Okay, I
sex.
think-
Oh,
no,
it's
we're
really
going
important.
back,
Everyone must
so-
listen to the really important
we're switching
sex
back,
story.
we're switching it back.
Here is go back.
I'm afraid not. Everyone must listen to the full story. Oh my fucking god, you're really turning evil, aren't ya? I'd be proud, except of how terrible and boring the consequences are for me personally.
Wait, does that mean you're a ghost? When you're a ghost, you still have to pee?
None of your business, Blue Kid.
That's so weird. Am I the only one who thinks that's weird?
No, John. It's definitely pretty weird that ghosts have to go pee. You get used to it, used to life as a ghost pretty fast, though.
But when you are already pretty used to peeing when you're alive.
Yeah, that's why you get used to it pretty fast, dummy.
I
God,
think personally, this pissing thing, that's totally, it's just like a mental block, and they don't have to piss, but they don't realize it. Like, they're pissing out of, like, habit.
This is kind of a stupid conversation. Can we hear more about the snakes and whatnot? It was a pretty cool story. Sorry, John, but you're objectively incorrect. It wasn't cool at all. It was very boring.
I really like the part where we
as
talk
soon
about
as
the
Mina
snakes
returns.
fucking.
No!
Yes, as soon as Mina returns from her visit to the Loadkeeper. Holy mackerel! Can you shitfucks just enjoy your spaces and porn while I take a fucking piss?
No, actually, you have to be here.
I think we could all stand to take a brief intermission from the story regardless, to let all these intriguing facts about cherubs sink in. Ugh, you and your intermissions. What's with your intermissions? They ain't even intermissions most of the time. They're just a dumb excuse to tell another story instead of a longer, dumb story. Yes, Mina, you're correct, and your reservations are noted. However, would it change your mind if I were to propose not an intermission, but an interfission? Fine, let's do the interfission thing you said, 'cause fish, beerby, you scrubs.
Oh, gone fishing. Tavros playing the ukulele.
My man is leaving.
Slow-mo falling down the stairs. John's just here like, what the
And then John just starts singing, "'Cause I'm a creep, but I'm a window."
Cause I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I
Right.
don't belong here.
She's pissed.
She's pissed.
Captain like Captain, I guess.
So, what are we doing here?
What the hell are we doing here? Oh, I don't belong here.
I like the idea that we've come up with here that John has a completely stupid and awful talking voice, but he's real good at singing. Somehow. Oh great, we're back.
Oh, God.
Well, the story's continuing, Arthur.
Anyway, where was I? Oh, yippee!
The heroine
Let me just
story
click
ends.
my heels with
This shit's
joy.
gonna drive me insane.
The heroine story ends and the villain story begins. I think.
Oh yes, that's right. It is with the predomination of her son that our heroine story ends and the story of a villain begins. Of course.
You
yes.
already said that line.
No, but
Just
I was
read
getting back
more.
into it.
Alright, please,
But as we all know, the beginnings are not always so easy to pinpoint in Paradox Space. One could say his story began the day he claimed immortality, or the moment his being was inexplicably confined to a juju, allowing him to access any material realm in which his vessel would capriciously materialise. But for the sake of linearity, I've decided that his story began when his egg started leaking the cum that came out of the puppets that Big Bro used to fuck.
Okay, I guess.
And out came a little fucking weird snake thing. When a cherub hatches, the two underdeveloped personalities mingle together in the same body. There is not yet a clear division between the two. It will consume the eggshell for its vital nutrients that it contains, a sugary snack irresistible to the starving wiggler. Once it finishes its first meal, the two personalities will be pulled apart for good, and the child will pupate. The two halves will begin vacillating with their sleep cycles as I described.
Can you just... never mind.
Can I just what?
I just wanted to see, because I looked away and I didn't catch it. Ow.
Yep.
Ugh. Hate that.
As you might expect, the female child was cheerful and friendly as could be. Hooray! I love my daughter. My name's Captain and I love my daughter. I hate my son and I love my daughter. My name's Captain. I miss my daughter and I hate my son. She took after her mother in every way! At least the way her mother used to be, long before she was hardened by centuries of isolation and obsessive pursuit of justice. And to just as little surprise, the male child was an insufferable brat.
I thought you said the man child, and I'm like... Wow.
I mean, true. It's still true.
I hate my son. I hate my son. I can't stand my son. I hate my son. Little shit.
Fucking hell.
Shit, I miss my daughter. I miss my wife.
If it weren't for the fact that my son and my daughter were in the same body, I'd put my son up for adoption.
I miss my wife, Tails.
I miss my wife, Tails, and I love my son, and I love my daughter, actually, really. I do love my son, but I also hate my son. I hate my son.
I have on
You're not my
occasion
son,
sort of
boy.
putting my son in a big sack and throw him in the river, but whatever.
I have on occasion put my son in a very long sock and swung him against a wall.
It's also a very wide
I put
sock.
my son... I may put my son in a vice grip
lapse in
once.
judgment. I do
Just
love my
to see if his...
I bought one of those
alive.
I bought one of those programmer socks and I put my son in it and I swung it against a wall.
Yeah, I like the Freudian slip there. Anyway, it is just as well that cherub parents abandon their offspring. Raising such a child by the familial standards of any race would be a monumental challenge. It's a good thing it was given to a stupid fucking clown. Nevertheless, it was seen there were those who tried. Details in my research suggest our villain had a number of acolytes operating in the shadows preparing for his arrival.
Me too.
Oh, sorry, love life again. We probably never know who these scurrilous conspirators were, but it is evident that at some point the cherub was locked in a room, either out of exasperation or for its own good, till it was old enough to enter the session. I did love my son and daughter, and then I got bored of them. After 25 minutes, and I put them in a room and I gave them a shackle. That's how it works.
I did put the programmer sock somewhere in there. But they are ripped.
So they can put themselves in the sock and string themselves against the wall for good.
Yes, they are ripped.
For nostalgia's sake.
They are unfortunately a bit ripped from the many times I've accidentally swung them too hard against the wall and pulled the socks apart.
One of them, one of them would actually always be the son. I would never swing my daughter against the wall. Only my son.
Yes.
Hey, my son.
Yes. I might ask my daughter to swing my son against the wall. If they weren't in the same body, that would make.
If they weren't in the same body, I would be teaching my daughter to swing my son against the wall. But alas, things are not the way to be.
Alas and alack, I've had to tie the socks to the ceiling so that my son can climb in and swing himself against the wall.
Yes. Our children were left with everything a young cherub could ever want. Meat, candy, computers, a lifetime supply of special stardust, and of course their precious doo-doos. The acolytes have clearly gone to great lengths to harvest such items from all over the cosmos. They could lavish their young master with gifts. So they could lavish their young master with gifts. They may have been prisoners, yes, but if you ask me, these children were very spoiled. They even had their own sock to swing themselves against the wall with.
Only the sun. Only the sun.
Hey, Muscle. Hey, Muscle.
My daughter, I don't know. I put the
Love-
socks
love
on
my
my
daughter,
son's
hey,
side of the
Basil.
room. I put the socks
Hey,
on my son's side of the room so my daughter can't ever reach the socks and swing herself against a wall.
No, it'd be terrible. Terrible tragedy.
It'd be-
The day my
it'd be
daughter swings a
horrible.
sock again. The day my daughter swings herself in a sock against a wall. Day I've died.
Severe brain trauma.
Absolutely dead. I can't be doing that.
While the
Anyway.
female was preparing for a collaborative approach to their game, the male was plotting furiously against her. He never had any intention of working with her. As far as he was concerned, the game was his alone to conquer.
And now it's literally just pages we've already, like, parts of animations we've already seen.
Well, I love One Piece.
Oh, it's because they're on a boat. It's a One Piece recap. Anyway,
One day, he put his plan into motion. He had his sister's dream self-assassinated on Prospect. The next time she went to sleep, she would never wake up again. When her brother woke up, he became the sole occupant of the body. He then freed himself from his chains and locked the session by himself. But this game was never meant to be played solo. Its format is inherently cooperative. A diversity of players, the combination of their efforts and aspects, this is what awakens the true creative potential of the game. Without them, a session will either wither or die. If one enters alone,
It will
completely
wither and
alters...
die.
Well, no, they'll do one or the other.
Only one. It will either wither
Alright,
and remain
alright.
immortal and withered, or it will die instantly.
Yes, exactly. Now, don't interrupt me, alright? I'm telling a story. Alright. For a solo player, a challenging quest becomes an insurmountable one. A reward of infinite promise becomes a boon far more sinister. The gauntlet which the player must overcome is seemingly destined to be impossible. For all intents and purposes, it is not actually a game at all. It is a death sentence for any player foolish enough to accept the challenge. But it bears repeating. This was a very special cherub. After all, he came from space sex. Much like all of them, I guess, but extra space sex. He entered what is known as a dead session. This qualifies as both a null and void session, but is even less a...
Me too, man.
I just remembered.
I'm gonna say that every time.
Compared to a typical session, it is almost unrecognisable, but before the game begins, sky is blotted out with a dark layer of clouds, and light is extinguished for good. There is no planet waiting for the player in the medium, and so, instead he brought it with him. That planet was Arath, the land of shit and cum. The land of shareholder value. And microplastics.
Yeah, that's Earth.
But when he arrived, there was no heroic journey for him to embark on. There was nothing, no sprite, no consorts, no underlings. The land had no name. These things all needed to be unlocked. To unlock his true quest, he was forced to undergo a series of excruciatingly tedious trials. Only then would the way to the planet's core be revealed. There, he would consult with the most monstrous denizen of all. And while such trials might discourage the players from even trying, Arvin's response was quite the contrary. He was only emboldened by the mind-numbing chores he took to them with gusto, as if performing them out of spite. In fact, he was so used to it, he started putting himself in a sock and swinging him against walls. So,
Every so
some
often
kind
he
of
just
bizarre
thinks-
ritualistic thing.
He'd just take an expedition at home so that he could swing himself against a wall in the big programmer sock.
And very strange, really, to be honest. With perseverance, he found the final door and
Also, a
unlocked
very
it.
stinky sock. There was no there was no, like, washing machine in there.
It hadn't been washed, very disgusting. Waiting for him on the other side was a terrible
Oh,
creature
dear.
named Yaldabaoth. His denizen would allow him a brief audience, one just long enough for him to make the choice. Oh!
I love the sun. No, wait, I hate my son. Fuck.
I hate my son, but I love the sun.
Love the sun,
There's a
hate my son.
difference. There is a difference.
Oh no, not the colon son, the intestinal parasite.
Oh, this is way too much reading. Oh my
Yeah.
god, fucking
Oh,
hell.
fucking hell. There we go. Pull back.
No
There we go.
denizen has ever been mistaken for a pleasant company, but the self-proclaimed god of all monsters is notoriously inhospitable to his players. His choices are known for their wild extremes, and to this player in the session he offered his most extreme choice of all. It was a choice between a path of conquest and a path of sacrifice, but this is putting it lightly. In a tongue only his player could understand, he described what the path of a martyr entailed. In short, it involved nothing. The player chooses to walk away from the temptation of power, to surrender all ambition, and to welcome death. In exchange, this pledge comes a promise. The player's sacrifice is assured to benefit all who will ever live. In death, the player would later be be in the position to help bring an end to the force of unfathomable evil and destruction, force which is unleashed, for instance, by someone who once opted for the other choice. Yaldabaoth then described...
Yep, we're up.
Okay. What it meant to
Scroll
choose the
very
path of the
fast to get
Conqueror.
more out of the
It
way.
was a path for the more active player, choosing to be sure. The player's mettle as a conquering force would be tested directly and repeatedly. One by one, he would have to conquer and destroy a number of planets spawned for him in the session. Each would be more difficult than the last. After destroying them all, his true land would become unlocked. He would then return to face his Denison again, and defeat him in combat. If successful, his reward would be unprecedented. He would receive a boon of unconditional immortality, where resurrection would not be linked with just the heroic nature of death. It is unclear how this boon will be awarded, since, to my knowledge, it is beyond the ability of a denizen to allow this. But through whatever mechanism the boon is bestowed, the immortality is only the beginning. The player is somehow also imbued with a limitless supply of power, enough to destroy anything he wanted, for as long as he wanted. And, knowing the villain of our story, anything he wanted would be everything, and as long as he wanted it would be forever. Yes, knowing our villain, the choice he would make is quite clear. Knowing him, in fact, proves it could hardly be considered a choice at all. It was at this point the real game would begin. The sky would undergo a dramatic transformation, becoming even darker and heavier. Oh. And soon it would become a great, massive, solid sphere, and would begin to generate heat due to its rising density. Thanks. Wow, that voice really fit for that line. And the surface would also begin to crack, by the way. If you care. And then a big bang happened. Yes, that's right. The first break. Jesus Christ. Not the fucking right. From the primordial blast would emerge 15 planets for the player to conquer. They would scatter and ricochet at high velocity with force 30. Yawn.
Me too.
Settling into orbit on the medium. The break is a very violent phenomenon, though. Not all planets will necessarily clear the blast before the sky and debris settles to its final state.
Fate.
Oh. I thought that said SDR. Oh, never mind. The vast amount of resulting matter then collapses into a black hole, where he's going to fuck later. The gravitational pull is tremendous. Any object within range will be sucked in and destroyed. Those planets which settle into orbit will be safe for the time being. But in the case of our villain session, 3 of the planets did not make it and fell back into the hole. This was a very lucky break for him. Oh my god, 12, like the Zodiac.
And then to him it's 13 on the
I love the moon.
I love the sun. Hey. I love the moon. I love my daughter. I hate my son.
Hate my son. Yes,
hate my life.
Hate my
question my existence.
Tore my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
Suffocation,
Anyway.
no breathing.
Got a sock, tied it up, threw myself into a wall.
I feel like we need to put this somewhere on the thumbnail now.
Yeah, we do. We've referenced it enough times. It's the main running joke at this point. Anyway, more exposition.
It meant that he would only have to conquer 12 planets instead.
You've got to do the... Okay, so here's the thumbnail for you. You know the trade deal thing? The trade deal meme? That, but edited to be whoever this stupid cat... Like, Arania. There you go, I read the name on screen. That, but edited to be Arania, and it's trade deal. I offer you 1 episode long recap. You get 2 funny jokes.
You get 2 funny jokes, and then there will also be Caliborn stuck in a programmer sock swinging himself in a wall, and Gamzee as a farmer.
Yeah, anyway, yeah.
Nah, full on make Gamzee just full on gammon.
Alright. This
Either way.
is a bit of...
This is a bit of good fortune, which could have been the difference which allowed him to overcome a nearly impossible challenge. His task was to destroy all of these planets in order in which a time allowance that gets shorter with each planet. To destroy a planet first, it must be conquered. He would have to overcome all forces of resistance on that planet and ultimately defeat whatever powerful underling ruled there. Then, much like he did to unlock the quest in the first place, he'd have to travel to the planet's core. Then he would retrieve a bomb and return to the surface. If he did not accomplish this in time, the bomb would detonate in the core and the game would be lost automatically. The bomb is not powerful enough to destroy the planet alone. In fact, its purpose is not to damage the planet at all, but to move it. So he must bring it to a designated location on the surface. When it explodes, the planets will be knocked out of orbit and sucked into the hole. Of course, he must make sure that he has moved on to the next planet before this happens.
Wow, cool.
He repeats this process for each planet until they are gone. There is one caveat though, he must skip the 8th planet. If he sinks that one before any of the others, it will result in the destruction of the entire session, thus it must be the final planet he conquers. That's the land of seizures and medical warnings. Upon destroying the 8th planet, his land will reveal itself. A dead planet will come to life. He must prepare for battle with his denizen. He may sharpen his combat skills, craft new weaponry, anything he can do to improve his chances against a very powerful endgame foe. Fortunately for him, he will not have to face a monster alone, but then he will have accumulated plenty of loyal minions. From... oh my god, it's those guys. I know those guys. I like the guy with the 7. He seems fun. Why is there so much to fucking read still? I wish I didn't take my own fucking deal. With each planet he destroys, he will be awarded a new leprechaun follower. Even if that planet was destroyed in the break, he will still be awarded the planet's leprechaun on destroying the planet persuading it. Sort of like a 2-for-1 deal.
Wait. Leprechauns?
Yes, John! I'm delighted to see you pounced on what is clearly the most interesting part of the story thus far. Leprechauns are a fascinating mythical race, although there is some confusion among scholars as to whether they are actually a breed of gnome.
John, stop, speak. In fact,
I
never
can't
speak
say
again.
I blame you for being speechless. There are no doubt hundreds of questions swirling in your head at once about these wonderful creatures. Where do I even begin? You must forgive me. I just find it very difficult to resist going on at lengths about them. I just think they are so great. For instance, I can and have given lectures for weeks at a time on the marvelous and widely varying
Me
magical
too.
abilities. More intriguing yet would be any medium to long-form harangue of the topic of their culture and customs, most of which revolve around luck. But the most captivating of all, and the subject upon which I will now assiduously expound, would be the positively scintillating subject of leprechaun romance.
Oh my god, no, we're not actually. See, okay, right, I'm gonna drop a really heavy harumph here. You can write a character who goes off on tangents and likes to talk about things. I literally is the main character of my book. But you can also do that and have the stuff they talk about be in any way interesting and well written.
Or
and
in
still,
any...
and still
any way
applicable to the story.
Yeah, I was about to say, and in any way remotely applicable to anything else we ever see again. And not be... and also not be explicitly... like making fun of the rest of the story in a way that very much seems like it's very much, this feels like this part of the story feels like somebody wrote a dog shit, like an intentionally shitty parody of the the exposition about like Alternia and shit. From back
Yeah,
in
but
X5
that was like essential though, because those people were like the huge parts of the story. We had to know more about them.
Yeah, this is just
Oh.
pain.
Oh.
On purpose.
I'm literally like mentally checked out. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief.
Oh, rescue me! Save me! Please! Oh well, the problem is that when the subject of leprechaun romance is broached, our overly obsessive troll intellects instantly assume it's the most intriguing posture of admiration imaginable. Makes it hard to give it proper academic focus, I mean, because of how great it is. But we will do our best to understand regardless. Trolls have only 4 forms of romance, and though we consider it a complicated subject, spanning a wide range of emotions and social conventions and the implications for reproduction, it's ultimately a superficial slice of what leprechauns consider the full body of romantic experience. Our concept of romance, in spite of its capacity to fill art and literature, and to rule our individual destinies like little else, is still just that, a single quaternary concept. A concept usually denoted by 4 symbols. A leprechaun romance is more complicated than that. Leprechaun romance needs 9 symbols, the 9 quadrants of... Hooray! The 9 quadrants of leprechaun romance are considerably more nuanced than our quaint notions of romance, and certainly more alien. It's in fact so conditioned is my own understanding of romance that I can't help but refer to them as quadrants, when in fact they are not quadrants at all, they are referred to as charms. One of the charms is characterized by romantic love, as understood by both trolls and humans. After that, all bets are off. There's no division between black and red, or conspiracy and conciliatory. Instead, our own charms comprise of spectral continuum of more subtly varying types of relationships, most of which are established on mutual chicanery, such as the exchange of pranks, coy riddles, slapstick shenanigans, and games of chance. Furthermore, a pair of leprechauns is not limited to a single charm. In fact, a relationship may be defined by multiple charms at once. In fact, some of the most interesting relationships arise from exotic charm combinations. A stable relationship consisting of 3 or more charms is called a trove. These advanced relationships are often viewed as the ideal and end result for romance, much the way certain pairing rituals are for humans. No charm is specifically tied to procreation, though, as any type of relationship could begin waxing... I fucking lost where we are. Waxing concupiscent, if Lady Luck should so decide. Certain charm combinations are known to be more conducive to fertility than others. Thank you, academic text. If the leprechaun pair has been so blessed, they will begin elaborate coupling procedure, culminating in the lively mating jig. Their jigs are fitted with the drums, of course, similar to how different kinds of music lend themselves to different styles of dance. While their romance is endlessly captivating, the leprechaun reproduction may be the most interesting subject of all, particularly from the perspective of a detailed anatomical study, which I will get to shortly. But first, it bears pointing out that while for humans, reproductive relationships are exclusively heterosexual, and for trolls they are bisexual, for leprechauns they are... What do you mean humans are exclusively heterosexual?
I mean, I think he was talking about...
reproductive. For reproduction.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anyway,
well, I mean, IVF and such, but yeah.
Yeah, but also, I never thought I would say this. I think I might have said it sometime before, but I never thought I'd say it again. Jesus Christ, thank you, Vriska! Holy shit! Jim?
Wow, what a story.
Oh, but I wasn't fit.
Wasn't that story great, everyone? Wow!
We're gonna end it here.
Hooray! Yippee! Hooray! Yippee!
We're gonna end this episode here.
Slowly losing my will to live.
I'm not even gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask what we thought of this episode, because I know what we all thought of this episode.
I actually thought it was one of the best episodes we've ever done, actually. I love... Oh, wow. Wow.
Man, I guess that means we should keep going for another several minutes. No.
Hooray.
No. Please.
Hooray.
No.
Yippee. At least it was all done in one go.
1, at least it was all done in one go, and 2, at least it wasn't like absolutely fucking abhorrent. Like sometimes I feel like a slight negative in the episode actually makes it like feel better afterwards than this, which is just null. It's 0. This is 0 on like an emotional slider of positive to negative feelings.
Just
like,
wasn't very well written.
A high positive. But even compared to this 0, I would prefer like a negative 0.1 or 0.2 or something like that. Genuinely, where it's just like, I'm a little, like, actually pissed off. Here, I'm just, like, outright bored.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's just the nature of... Just bad writing is just, not good. Well, obviously.
Wow, really? Really? I couldn't tell!
You know, it really just...
Tell me bad writing's bad?
Me when the bad thing is bad.
It just really butchers, you know, it just makes things so slow and sticky.
That's the thing. This was just
the best way to put
conceptually. This was just bad conceptually. Like,
well, no, because I mean, I don't hate the idea of expanding out on like an alien species and learning the backstory of how they came. That's fine. That's like that can be really interesting. And the way, having the character who drops exposition dumps and likes to go off on tangents and having them muddle around and tell a bunch of information about this could be done in a really interesting and engaging and entertaining way that could be quite funny and conducive to a lot of, little jokes that you could tell along the way. Unfortunately, it didn't.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You know your thing where... I believe you've put this on the channel of, in your book, effectively the exposition dump on the cardinal directions.
Oh, yeah, where he's explaining it to a character. Yeah, that's what you do. You have to make it more interesting.
That's actually pretty good. But two, what I feel like this is imagine if we discover, if in the book we already knew about the cardinal directions previously from having them actually demonstrated and shown to us effectively, and then somebody explained them in the most boring way possible for 12 pages.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, the concept is fine. The concept is fine. It was just executed in a really poor way. You could have skipped over a lot of the details that weren't interesting and have them be like, we already know this, boring. Have them skip the parts that have already been said and things like that, and focus on the stuff we don't know. It's not that, this sort of thing couldn't be well written because of the concept. It was just really poorly written. Also, Andrew Hussey's writing style is conducive to a lot of unnecessary, buzzword technobabble. And, you don't need that.
And also, he's shown, he gets way too self-important to, not be a shit to his own audience on purpose.
Yeah.
And, actively make the story worse.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Just unfortunately poorly written.
Right, shall we wrap this up?
Yes, we very much shall. If you like this video, somehow if you had any level of emotional response to this fucking... Okay, if you like the 2 funny jokes in this video, hit that like button.
Yeah, I gave you a trade deal. I gave 2 funny jokes.
Trade deal. If you like the 2 funny jokes, hit that like button.
I got to read an exposition dump in a funny voice.
If you very much liked the 2 funny jokes and want to see more jokes like them, hit that subscribe button. We upload episodes of Reading Homestuck every Monday and Tuesday, or Tuesday depending on your time zone, and we upload other things on Thursdays or Fridays again depending on your time zone. Other things like, halfway through last week, we uploaded a Sonic media tier list. If you are interested in that, it is rather long, but it is fully chaptered so you can skip around as you please. Additionally, this week, there will finally be a follow-up to that Trollsona video from November last year. I will say, it is mostly set up and, frankly, exposition-ish. There's no real plot progression yet, but it's very much just the filling out the basics so that we can finally start the interesting stuff. It's one of those structural things where it's we need this for the following thing to occur, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's like the founding episodes of a show. They're usually not as good, but...
Yeah. It's like expecting episode 1 of One Piece to be exactly on the same level of over-the-top action and quality as 1000. It's just not gonna be. Anyway.
Yeah.
You can also follow me on Tumblr, where once the Trollsona video goes up, I will be uploading the designs for some new characters that you will encounter, you will learn more about in that video. So look forward to that. You can also follow June on Tumblr and Instagram. June?
Yeah, follow me. There'll be posts going up probably Tuesday on my Insta, because I actually worked on stuff this week, surprisingly. And yeah, you can follow my Tumblr, I guess. Goodbye.
Woo! And you can also follow Arthur on Twitch. Arthur?
I'm a bit more busy than I thought I would be at the moment because work have lost like 3 members of staff. So instead of being demoted to kitchen assistant like I was planning on being, so I could, be a bit more relaxed, I'm still being used as a ramen chef. So I'm still a lunch chef. So it's like...
Damn.
Still a bit busy.
It'd be like that sometimes,
Yeah, I mean, I'm hunting for a different job generally because the hours can be very unfortunate, and sometimes, my physical health is suffering for my job, and it's not the way it is meant to be at this kind of point in my life. I mean, in general, really, you shouldn't be suffering for your job, but
just in general. Yeah. And we will see you in the next video. Later.
Bye.